Welcome back to 5 Minute Fantasy Football, presented to you by the Sports Gambling Podcast Network and Underdog Fantasy. Make sure you go to Underdog Fantasy, use promo code FFSGPN so they know we sent you. Today we're talking about Week 2 streamers. There's a lot of really tough matchups. The quarterback landscape between injuries and matchups, it's not good. And then we saw a lot of really down performances. We expect the passing production to go up. The NFL is a pass-heavy league. But with the preseason, the condensed training camps, we're just seeing lower and lower production. And it's gone from 60 to 50 to now 30. There was 34 passing touchdowns. Teams average about 200 yards. Expect the production to go up. But again, there are some tough matchups and then some injuries that will affect the quarterback position, which of course will affect the defensive and special teams positions as well. So let's look at the options we have for you. So again, with this, go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com. You can check out the article. Here we have several options. Number one, our guy last week was Baker Mayfield, and we're going to go right back to the well. Baker Mayfield looked fantastic. He looks very in control and confident in this offense. Mike Evans, he's still got it. Chris Godwin looks good. And now they have Jalen McMillan, who adds another piece to this offense on top of the running backs. Both Rachaad White and Bucky Irving can catch the ball and do some damage out of the backfield. And Detroit has not proven that they can stop the pass, and we're going to continue to see that. Baker Mayfield has a big day. My stream of the week last week, he was QB2 overall. Justin Fields, all signs point to Fields playing. Normally, we've seen this. If you don't practice, you don't play for Mike Tomlin, especially the quarterback position. And Russell Wilson's still limited in practice. Look for Wilson to sit out at least another week. Of course, he'll have his shoulder pads on, helmet on the sideline, because that's what Russell Wilson does. But Justin Fields should be the starter, and he was great last week, even in a so-so performance. We didn't see the huge runs, but what we saw was a lot of runs. And so if he were to break a big one or continue this rushing volume, it's going to be good for fantasy football. And we also saw him targeting players down the field, particularly George Pickens. And so this is a guy that you're going to want to put in your lineup, especially in a plus matchup. I know Tennessee, they shut down the Bears offense last week, but again, it was first week, rookie quarterback. The Bears, they did some injuries going on. Keenan Allen got banged up. Rome Odunze got banged up. But this team, this offense they're not on full cylinders yet. Tennessee is not a defense I'm afraid of. And Justin Fields, with the rushing on top of the passing ability, should be a top 12 play this week. Derek Carr, he was great last week. I'm not super excited about Derek Carr on a weekly basis. And I know the Dallas Cowboys seem like a bad matchup, but I'm just looking at game script, and this is going to be a high-scoring game. You're looking at the spread, you're looking at Vegas. They have this as one of the higher-scoring games on the slate, and garbage time counts just as much as regular fantasy points, and you could see a lot of that with Derek Carr as he's trying to come back from behind against the Dallas Cowboys this week. We stick in New Orleans for our tight ends. I bombed last week. I had Taysom Hill as one of my streams. He didn't work out. I'm going right back to it. Taysom Hill, he offers more upside than any other tight end that you can get that's available on your waivers. And so people dropped him after a poor performance last week. Take him against the Cowboys again. You're looking at a team that's going to be trailing. They could be, using a lot of different players, a lot of passing. Taysom Hill, not only in the passing game, but as well as a rusher, potentially as a passer in the trick plays. This is a Swiss Army knife that you're going to want if you can play him in the tight end spot. Hunter Henry, he had the only tight end red zone target for the Patriots last week. He was heavily involved in their pass offense, 82.2% route run rate, and he had 21.1% of the air yards. So they're targeting him down the field, which is great. All these are key performance indicators of potential success at the tight end position. And again, another year where we get fooled and think, oh, yeah, there's plenty of tight ends out there. And all of a sudden it's like, yeah, I don't know about that. A lot of tight ends, dealing with injuries. We have Jake Ferguson dealing with an injury. We have Njoku is out this week. We also got some, quarterback injuries that affect things. Tucker Kraft isn't really an option with Malik Willis. And so you might have to go to some other options. And Hunter Henry is widely available in leagues and especially in PPR formats. I'll be targeting him. Colby Parkinson, you look at this Rams offense. Last week, Puka went out. They really didn't have time to really put in a game plan for anybody else. And so it really changed everything for them. This week, they'll have time to put Robinson and Parkinson and Tyler Johnson into the game plan. So Cooper Kupp is still going to be involved, but he's not going to get 20-plus targets this week. And they're going to have to do a fast pace offense or a quick pass offense because they have 4 offensive linemen that are hurt. I think 2 of them already went to the IR. The Rams just got hit really, really bad by the injury bug. Got beat up pretty bad by the Lions. Speaking of injuries, Jordan Love is going to be out for 3 to 6 weeks. Some say 2 to 4 weeks, but he's going to be out. And Malik Willis, in his time, he's played in 8 games, but he's had 3 total starts, 0 passing touchdowns in those 3 starts, 3 interceptions, 10 sacks, and less than 300 yards. That's less than 100-yard a game. That's an interception per game, and that's 3 sacks per game. Indianapolis is going to eat. This is a good defense. This is an above-average defense. And now Josh Jacobs is banged up with a back injury. This could be blood in the water. Green Bay Packers, that you guys don't know what it's like to have to deal with bad quarterback play. I know that Love's coming back. And you've had the Deshaun Kaiser days and things like that. But this could be some really, really tough times for those cheeseheads. Chargers, Carolina Panthers, again, circle them on your calendar. Whoever's playing the Panthers next week is probably going to be my stream of the week. This is a bad offensive line. This is a bad quarterback, and this is a bad team. And so you're going to want to target them. And people aren't even paying $1.80 to get 2 tickets to go to see the Panthers. I mean, if you live in the Carolina area, you can go there. And it costs you about the same as a McChicken. This is a great matchup for the defensive line. Expect a lot of sacks, turnover-worthy plays, and Los Angeles Chargers could be a massive week winner. And on top of it, they got some pretty good special teams. Darius Davis is one of the top returners. If they were to break one or have a defensive TD, it could be a huge turnaround for you. Seattle Seahawks, I'll finish that up. I know New England Patriots were pretty good last week. The Bengals are just a mess. They got all the drama with the Jamar Chase stuff, T. Higgins, Joe Burrow. I mean, it's a mess. And so the offense really did the defense no favors. New England was up early in that game, and they were able to play their game, and they were able to control the line of scrimmage and control the tempo because they were ahead. I don't think that's going to happen with Seattle. Seattle gets up big, and New England tries to chase them, and that's where Seattle is going to be able to take advantage of that poor offensive line and Jacoby Brissett at quarterback. This is, again, another great matchup for the defensive line, Leonard Williams and company, against the banged-up New England Patriots offensive line. Seattle going to be a big one if you can't get one of these other top options. So that's 5-Minute Fantasy Football. As always, good luck this season.